general networking, network fundamentals, wireless networks, security. Yes, we want to make our network secure. It's not an easy task for wireless. That's what we want to discuss in this video. Why? Well, what I mean is, why isn't that easy? It's not, because first of all, if you have a cable in your network, then you have a door, you have a window. Nobody can get into your office and connect to your corporate network. With wireless, it doesn't work like that. You can have the best solution available, and your neighbor can keep trying 24/7 to break into your network, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about that. That's the main problem with wireless. I'm pretty sure you have set up a few routers in your life and access points. I hope you have watched my previous videos and you know how to do that. When you go to wireless security options, you will have a few modes available to choose from. We can say that there are 3 options available: WEP, WPA, and WPA2. WEP is not in use anymore. It was created many years ago when people were amazed by wireless. They said, wow, wireless is great, I want to have it everywhere. And then someone said, well, okay, what about, well, security, mate? What do you mean security? Oh, everybody can connect to my network. Oh crap, that's not good. That's how WEP was created. They didn't really have time to test it and implement everything as they wanted. It was broken without any problems. Unfortunately, the issue was that all these devices were on the market already. People had laptops, wireless cards, access points. It was not easy to tell people, oh, by the way, you have to buy a new laptop, you have to buy a new access point, a new router. That's how WPA was created. The challenge was, you have to use the same hardware. The only thing that you can do is an update of your firmware or an image on a device. That's it. You're not allowed to use a new piece of hardware. Don't ask your users to upgrade or buy a new device. That's how WPA2 was created, which was a big step forward and was secure for many years. WPA2 is something that we use today. The reason for that is it is not based on TKIP, it is based on AES encryption, which is much better, and that's what you should use today. You should use WPA2. There is one more thing that you will notice in many places. It says WPA2 PSK or WPA2 Enterprise. Sometimes the first one is WPA Personal as well. What does it mean? The difference is that PSK, it's a pressured key mode. It's great for home networks. It means you will have a password, a key, a pressured key. It's not good for a company because if Mike leaves tomorrow, well, he's got a key, right? That's not good. WPA2 Enterprise is much better because we are going to use a Radius server. We're going to, that's great for medium-sized companies and enterprise solutions. We use protocols like 802.1x and Radius to make it more secure. In most cases, we're going to integrate that with Active Directory as well. It means that a user will need a username and password that he uses every day to log into Windows. If this PC is on the domain, then he doesn't have to do anything. We can push it using GPO, Group Policy Object. That's a lot of information. The idea is that WPA2 PSK is based on a key, on a pre-shared key. WPA2 Enterprise, on the other hand, is something that is designed to, for instance, use certificates and radius servers and more sophisticated solutions. Everything to make it, first of all, more secure and allow you to scale your network. It's very easy to, in this environment, it's very easy to tell a user you're not allowed to connect to the network anymore. All you have to do is block his account in Active Directory. That's it. That will do. Or remove him from a group that he should belong to. I found a really nice explanation on TP-Link website, WPA2 Personal. It's here. We have an access point, 2 devices, that's it, job's done. With WPA Enterprise, we have a server. We use this protocol to talk to a server. That can be a Windows server. There is a free version of Radius for Linux. You can set it up and these devices will be authenticated using a server like that. A really nice short article that TP-Link decided to put. I really like when companies do that to make you more aware of solutions that are available around you. I want to show you how easy it is to deploy WPA2 Enterprise in your network if you have an existing Radius server. I'll show you what I have set up. This is my, let me just put it in. So this is my access point that is connected to a switch. And then I have a Windows Server 2008. That is my Radius server as well. NPS in Windows, Network Protection Server. It's pretty easy to set up. You just have to add a feature, a role like that to Windows Server 2008, 12, and so on. This access point is here connected to switch, and there is a wireless laptop over here that we want to connect to the network. This time we want to use WPA2 Enterprise. Unfortunately, setting up everything from scratch is beyond our training. However, I want to show you what steps you have to take and show you how I have done it in my network. We'll try and connect a laptop to the network like that as well. Let's start with the server. On the server I have the network policy server window open. There are 2, maybe 3 things that you have to do. First of all, you have to create a Radius client. That has been done. Linksys 172.16.1.11. All you do, you just add a new client, you put his name, IP address, and a password that will be used. Then you need a network policy. A network policy is something that will tell your server what to do and when your users are allowed to be authenticated. In my case, I specified that first of all it's for wireless, and second of all my users have to be in this group wireless. That's a group that I created. Okay, and this is a standard one saying allow for wireless. That's what you have to do in Windows to make it happen. Windows will create logs here in this folder. We'll use that to see and make sure that we were authenticated. Of course, we'll be connected. You can check if something goes wrong and why here in the logs. I am connected to the laptop using a wired connection for now. We'll connect to the Linksys router and we'll enable WPA2 Enterprise. That's the IP address of the router. In this case, it's more an access point. Oh, change the password. That's fine. And in security, you will see this WPA. Oh, that's WPA. It doesn't matter. It's personal. It means it's not going to use a server, a Radius server. We'll change that to WPA2 Enterprise. And here it's going to ask for two things. First of all, a Radius server address. That's what I put here. That's my SBS server, Windows 2008. Radius port and pre-shared key that we specified on the server. Go here, manage wireless networks, and this one is, what was it? Test 19. You create a new profile. If you have a server, then you can use, for instance, a group policy object and push it to all users. You can try and double click and connect, but sometimes it's not going to work. It can complain about your certificate. It makes sense to add a new network like that. You specify that it's test 19. Security is WPA2 Enterprise. You want to use AES. In here, you have to change this option if you don't have a valid certificate. You have to check with your infrastructure engineers. Of course, you should have one. If you don't, then unfortunately you have to untick that. Untick this one if you're not under the domain because you don't have the same username and password. And in here, I want to use user authentication. That's what I, in most cases, change. Again, all these things can be pushed to your users' laptops using group policy objects. Now, I can try and connect. I'm asked for a username and password. That's domain-name because this PC is not on the domain. See if it works. About now. Here we go. I am connected. If I go to status, wireless properties, you will see I use WPA2 Enterprise AES. Let's check on the server now. We have our logs. And there should be a log, here we go, that I was authenticated using my username Wi-Fi. That's my username. Linksys is the client. It was the access point that I used. In this video we talked about wireless security. I showed you what the main difference between WPA and WPA2 is, when we can use a pre-shared key and enterprise solutions, and I even showed you how to deploy WPA2 Enterprise using Windows Server 2008. Thank you very much.